Hello everyone. We'll present to you the entry plan for Niine sanitary napkins into Nigeria. Our choice of Niine is based on two reasons. The first one is that Niine is a startup company based out of India, trying to gain entry into Africa and the Middle East. Secondly, is because the company is addressing a major social challenge that is affecting a lot of people in Africa and the Middle East. Before we proceed, let's show you a short video of the situation.
The first day I started, I was asking myself questions that I myself cannot even answer it myself, because I was shocked. I don't know of it, because my mom has never told me anything about that. I was just ashamed of myself. I did not use anything, but I just keep on bathing.
The first day I started my menstruation, I was scared. My body was weak.
On any given day, more than 800 million women and girls are menstruating worldwide. For nearly half this number, a lack of access to clean water and sanitary facilities has made it an experience they'd rather not have to deal with.
So the situation in Africa is that a lot of young girls have limited education about menstruation before puberty. We see that a third of African girls miss school 5 days in a month just because of this same issue. 4 out of every 5 women do not use sanitary napkins, and they look for alternatives because sometimes these sanitary napkins are quite expensive or inaccessible, and this results in threatening infections that sometimes leads to death in some cases. So, Niine is a startup company which was founded in India with a very bold ambition of becoming the largest manufacturer of sanitary pads in the world. We say this is India to the world. Why? Because India has the second highest number of menstruating women in the world, about 355 million of them. The company put up a state-of-the-art manufacturing plant in eastern Uttar Pradesh region of India. And they wanted to focus on quality standard, not just becoming the most affordable sanitary napkin, but they also wanted to ensure that they provide quality product and a product that is also environmentally sustainable. So Niine products are biodegradable, and they also come with free disposable bags just to ensure the discreet disposal of sanitary pads. Reputation management is very, very key for Niine, and they have extensive experience in leading FMCGs, especially in emerging markets. Some of Nine's executives have come from companies like Procter & Gamble, Coca-Cola, and Johnson & Johnson. So what is Nine's business model? It positions itself as a social enterprise with the primary aim of solving a social challenge while also making a profit. It wants to also become the most affordable sanitary pad in the world, challenging established brands like Procter & Gamble and Johnson & Johnson. The company also, everywhere it is operating, especially in India, forges strategic alliances with not-for-profit organizations, schools, government agencies, and local grocery hubs in order to create awareness of the dangers of using other means of protecting yourself during the menstrual period. And most importantly, the company wants to expand into African markets, especially Nigeria. Some of the reasons why the company wants to enter Nigeria is based on both macro and social analysis that we've done. And we see that Nigeria portends a huge market opportunity for Niine. It is the most populous country in Africa with vast human resources, 190 million people. That's a market you cannot ignore. And it represents 2.9% of the world's population, 47% of West Africa's population, very, very big market. It also has a growing population of the target segment that Niine is trying to reach. Over 40 million menstruating women exist in Nigeria today, and most of them in rural areas. Sanitary pad also is the third most requested item by Nigerian women. It is a monthly consumable. We also see that there's a social challenge that exists. 1/3 of young girls miss school due to lack of access to sanitary pads. It is also an expensive choice because sanitary pads are not just essential, but they're becoming very expensive. And the options out there are quite unhygienic, resulting in very deadly infections. The alternative, the company also wants to be an alternative to competition. While doing that, it wants to position itself as the most affordable brand because 50% of Nigerians live under less than $2 a day. And the proposition of spending almost 30% of their daily livelihood on sanitary towels is quite daunting. It is also a social enterprise where the company is trying to solve a social challenge. But while solving that social challenge, we also see the potential for the company to make an annual revenue of over $21 million and a net profit of about $4.2 million. In analyzing the industry that Niine is going to come into in Nigeria, we deploy the Porter 5 forces, and you will see that in terms of the bargaining power of suppliers, Niine products are going to be imported from the head office in India in order to make the company really competitive in terms of pricing. If you look at the potential entrants, there's little or no differentiation. A sanitary pad is a sanitary pad, invariably, if it's good quality. We also see that every potential entrant will be affected by foreign exchange instability due to fluctuating oil prices. And there's a minimum scale required to enter this market. Also, we see that the substitutes out there also exist, and today a lot of women are using such substitutes. Toilet papers, pieces of cloth, even though they are unhygienic and they may lead to infections, but it's still an alternative for a lot of women. Finally, we see that the bargaining power of buyers, users don't see the need and the importance. So this is very high, and this is where we really need to focus on. They don't see the need or the importance of sanitary pads, and because the cost is quite high, so they always defer to substitutes. We also gathered some market intelligence in order to be able to put together an entry plan. There are over 12 brands currently in the market, and the market leader is currently P&G, Procter & Gamble, almost a monopoly. But what we also realize is that the price at which Niine is going to land in Nigeria is perhaps the cheapest currently in the country. And that gives Niine a very good position when they enter into the Nigerian market. Quality and price are key considerations because, as we all know, menstruating women need quality sanitary napkins that ensure that they remain clean at all times. Leading brands are also perceived to have the same quality, bringing that industry rivalry to the fore. Procter & Gamble, Sanke Nigeria, continue to make substantial investment. For example, Procter & Gamble opened up a factory recently in order to be able to scale up their entry into the market. And this we feel that is something that Niine needs to take into consideration when planning the entry strategy. So the entry strategy for Niine will be based on this 7 building blocks, from human resources to logistics, to the timing of entry, to marketing, looking at acquisition and possibly greenfield opportunities, to ownership and location. All this we've taken into account, and we propose that the ownership structure should be a fully owned subsidiary in Nigeria. In terms of logistics, we advise that Niine starts with a direct export of products initially. Then, using a phased approach, they proceed to contract manufacturing. Then finally, outsourcing local distribution while also doing contract manufacturing. So more or less going from export to manufacturing over a period of time. Niine Nigeria will leverage marketing assets, creative, and also materials from the Niine HQ in India, but while localizing it to meet the needs of the Nigerian market. Lagos is the commercial capital of Nigeria and perhaps the biggest city in terms of economic activity. So we advise that Niine situates in Nigeria office in Lagos, while also covering the entire country. Niine should come in at a time where the political climate is stable, most importantly after the general elections in 2019. And they should also come in when the foreign exchange environment is quite stable, especially considering that we currently have fluctuating oil prices. Nigeria is an oil-dependent country, so a change in oil prices would affect the country. We also want a fully owned organic growth for Niine. In terms of the entry plan, the phase 1 will be direct export, phase 2 will be contractual manufacturing, while phase 3 will focus on local production if economic and regulatory conditions permit. We also believe that Niine can leverage its expertise and experience from India, which is a similar market to Nigeria in terms of the market condition, the population, and most importantly, the consumer segment. The market entry option suitable for Nigeria will be an internationalization strategy, whereby Niine would export and distribute only one product range in order to maximize operational efficiencies. Afterwards, they move to local production after about 10 years of operation, as this will give them a good understanding of the Nigerian market. This is the proposed structure. We expect that Niine India would establish Niine International, which will include Nigeria and every other country in Africa that they intend to move into. They will retain control at all times, and they will maintain the quality of the products and services while focusing on fast revenue and profit growth. In terms of marketing, Niine will position itself as a global social brand with local consciousness, leveraging on Nine's global marketing, adapting marketing activities through an outsourced local marketing firm. We believe that the marketing mix will be about product, where it is because it's a low involvement product, minimal adaptation is required. Promotion will be working in close partnership with NGOs, using social media advertising, and building emotional connection through strategic joint CSR initiatives with leading organizations like a telco. The pricing is to position the product as a low-cost alternative, not just to the current players, but to alternatives like tissue papers and pieces of cloth. Most importantly, Niine would drive its growth strategy through a rural penetration strategy. Again, we'll form strategic alliance with local relevance. Potential partners that we're considering is the government, the media, and most importantly, the Red Cross, due to their works in the rural areas of Nigeria. Distribution, we would appoint the top two local distribution companies who have access to a vast distribution network. We'll position the company as a social enterprise and drive strategic distribution alliances through NGOs, federal government ministries, health and education ministries, and over time create a rural distribution network for Niine. In terms of financials, the total cost of production for Niine will be $0.48 dollars. The markup strategy is to ensure that we have a 25% on total product cost. The selling price will be 60 cents, which is 5% lower than the cheapest product in the market. Our addressable target market is 60% of the total female population in Nigeria. The target market is 5% of the addressable population, and we project a profit of about $4.2 million annually. Our human resource strategy will focus on building a culture that is similar to what we have in India, but while also localizing it to Nigeria. The organizational structure would have an expatriate who is serving as the managing director and MD, then a key account manager to manage the key distribution partners, a local finance manager, as well as a government and local relations official to smoothen the way for Nine's entry into the country. Every other thing will be outsourced: sales and distribution, human resources, as well as marketing. Finally, these are our references. Thank you for your time, and we look forward to your questions.